Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
This is Foreman Red James, and you're listening to Mark, the piece of shit garbage man on Can Crushers.
Hello! Welcome.
Was that my question? I should have did the hello with you.
Oh, apparently you guys are hearing. Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I am Mark the Mark, Sir Michael Jenks. We'll get to that story here in a minute, but I do have an amazing guest, and it is
Donny Bambino.
Yeah,
I can introduce myself, Mark, okay? I am the best professional wrestler, the number one Don in America, Donny Bambino, okay? That's me.
I was going to say a member of my family. I was giving you a little more stroke, but okay. You don't need stroke. You are the big Don. You are everything we need on the show tonight.
Big Papa Don.
Literally, Big Papa Don. So we haven't spoken to you in a while here on Can Crusher, so let me throw this out there. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
New baby girl into the Bad Fellas family. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Little baby Don.
How's everyone?
They are all good. My family's good. Everybody's taken care of. And now I'm helping out another family member right now.
Yeah, the wrong side of the family, right?
Oh, no. There is no wrong side of the family.
Okay. So everybody knows we talk about beer on here as well. The wife just brought me home. Never knew this existed. New Trail Blood Orange Broken Heels IPA. It's warm and it's amazing. Just throw that out there. I know you're not a huge drinker, but I at least have to give you the beer of the day.
I'm not a beer guy, okay? If you want to drink something nice, you drink Di Serono, okay? It's an Italian liqueur.
I love it, but I have to buy it when the income tax check comes in, or I rob a bank or something every once in a while.
I forgot most people can't afford it. That's on me. That
is on you. Especially nobody on Can Crusher Nation is drinking Di Serono. We'll leave it at that. You. So, Don, I know you listen a lot, and I want to come out this. I got a lot of hate last week. I got a lot of hate by shitting on LA Knight.
Well, I'm going to add to it because I fucking love LA Knight.
He lost. He was too much. He was too much for me right off the bat. Too much.
I hate that he lost, but they gave him a dominating performance. They really did.
They really did. I won't say that I didn't hate the match or anything like that because it's a Roman Reigns, and we're going to get the crown jewel. We're talking about LA Knight right now, so hold your horses. We're jumping right into wrestling because. But overall, the match, But LA Knight did look great, and I'm happy for him for that. Now I'm ready for him to run on, and maybe he's the guy that takes care of Gunther. Maybe he gets the U.S. title. That's the reign that I want to see right off the bat. I just didn't think it's in the story of Hard Times, which Roman is part of story of Hard Times, that LA Knight is just not part of it. And that's why, because I'm the whole family I love.
No, I get that. But they kind of like shoehorned him into this angle. It does feel like he's just kind of put into this position. It wasn't like there wasn't really a neat build up to it. It was just kind of like here he is, and he's going to take on the Roman Reigns. There wasn't really too much of a build up. But another thing, Roman Reigns matches, I hate them so much.
Well, that's for a point. and we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Because I actually want to talk about, this was actually scheduled when Sir Michael Jenks was coming on. I had this brought up, and I was going to throw this at him because Roman Reigns matches are rough. But let's first take a pause for a second now, because we have to tell everybody why you're here, which you're always welcome, and Sir Michael Jenks is not, which is fucking amazing.
I'm here because Sir Michael Jenks decided to, Mark, you tell your story.
Apparently earlier this week, Sir Michael Jenks decided to shockmaster his bathroom. Ran through a wall and destroyed wall. I don't know what he was doing. He's like, this is a story that I can't tell you over text because you won't get it. You just won't get it. I'm like, okay. So he's like, just realized, and he sent me a picture. I went through the wall of my bathroom and we've had some issues, this, that, and the other. The brother can only make it up during recording time to fix it. So he is no longer Sir Michael Jenks. He is the Shockmaster Michael Jenks. I don't understand.
I'll tell you what probably happened, okay? Because it happens to me too when I eat Taco Bell, okay? And he couldn't get to the door fast enough. He had to barrel through that wall. That's probably what happened.
I get it. He had a couple bad beers a couple weeks ago, and I know those probably still aren't sitting right with him.
Yep.
But
that's there.
Yeah.
It's all them.
There's nothing wrong with IPAs. Nothing. Nothing at all. All right. I do have the Roman Reigns thing up and ready to go. So let's talk about that. We're gonna get into Crown Jewel overall, but let's just talk about Roman Reigns matches, because you're right. They are what they are, and they are what they need to be. Because
I'll tell you,
they
are predictable. Right out of the gate, you know exactly what's going to happen in a Roman Reigns match. And you can tell me I'm wrong, but you can't tell me I'm wrong. You know exactly what's going to happen. He's going to get his ass kicked in the beginning of it. He's going to show dominance. He's going to get his ass kicked again, and then the bloodline's going to step in. It's the same story over and over.
It is, and it's for a point, though. Listen, I'm still putting up the finger. I'm still part of the bloodline. I'm still the one. And they need people, the whole wrestling landscape, to hate him. And it's these, air quotes, boring, predictable, whatever you want to call them, matches, is what they're trying to do. Because at 40, in Philadelphia, I forgot where it was for a minute, Don. In Philadelphia, they want all 95,000 people to be going apeshit crazy for Cody, so Roman can walk away for a while, if not ever. They have to have that pop where everybody, not just Mark the Market, they don't want one finger in the air on WrestleMania 40. They want everybody to hate them. So give them these shit-ass cookie-cutter matches so people like me even start to get annoyed with the Roman Reigns.
I get you.
Am I wrong, though?
No, you're not wrong. It's just from a fan standpoint, it's getting there. It's getting there to the point where it's like I'm starting to dread watching Roman Reigns matches, because you know the ending, and you're always rooting for the other guy. But now you can't root for the other guy because you know it's going to play out the same way.
I haven't rooted for anybody since WrestleMania. I rooted for Cody, and then I'm like, well, I know this is going to be part 2 in a year. So these are all just filler chapters. There's nothing. This is where I'll get hate. There is nothing that Roman has done since WrestleMania 39 until WrestleMania 40 that matters at all. At all.
Yeah.
So this is just fluff. These are all Roman's bathroom matches, essentially.
I got you. I see where you're coming from. I was just really hoping LA Knight would do something.
You could have inserted anybody in that spot. I know he's got the pop, he's got the fans, he sells the most merchandise in WWE right now. But you could have inserted Outback Jack in the same freaking match would have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, another thing I want to bring up about topics is your girl, I know she's part of the family on the side once in a while. Mandy Rose doesn't really care if she ever gets back into professional wrestling. Are you all right with that?
Well, I support anybody that wants to do whatever they want. Okay? Because I'm lawless. Okay? You can't tell me I can't do nothing. And if she doesn't want to be a wrestler no more, well, there's always other ventures.
And she's making a ton off of other ventures. But by saying that she doesn't have the itch, essentially, is what she said, to get back in the ring or anything like that, she still wants to be, and I'm not hating on her. But she still wants to be noteworthy in the whole wrestling, universe, as she's showing up at WrestleCade now. So she still wants to be around it. She's just not ready to get back in the ring. There's a return coming. She's just not going to tell everybody when.
Yeah.
You all right with that?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You see a lot of wrestlers do that. They take the back seat. And it 90% of the time, it's because they feel like they don't have the it factor, or somebody tells them they don't have the it factor. So they become commentators. They become backstage hands. It's a way for them to help themselves. Because as soon as you are in this business, you step away from this business. Because there's something about it that just draws you back.
It's in your blood. It's a sickness. It's a disease. It's the same thing. I say it all the time on the spotlights to the kids that I talk to. It really is. You're in it.
And you're always chasing that first pop. That first pop you get, you are chasing that until the day you die.
Because is that your biggest, or is that the most feels you think that you ever get? I've never heard this before, by the way. That's why I'm questioning you.
So it's probably never going to be the biggest pop you get, because you can only get bigger pops, or you can get smaller pops. But that first initial pop, it gives you that shot of adrenaline of, oh, this is real. This is real now. And you'll never get that this is real feeling again, but you can come super close to it when the pops start to become bigger and bigger.
Okay. I'll have to remember that when I'm plowing through curtains getting ready to announce, or whatever I'm going to be doing in the near future. Leave that at that. One more thing I do want to talk about, and I know you've had to have seen this, and I'm not throwing a lot at you, just like the big headlines. CW going crazy. They first have NWA. There's a cocaine spot on their pay-per-view. Now they've inked NXT now. And they've also had talks with AEW, but Tony Khan said, no, we're not going to go there, because we have Warner Brothers in our back pocket. But was CW just, I don't know, playing second fiddle, saying, hey, we can get NWA anytime we want, but holy shit, now we have NXT, so NWA can go to the wayside?
It's sad, but it's probably going to wind up that way. Because it's just TV promotions, they always want to produce what's popular. And as soon as something more popular comes along, another show goes to the wayside. First off, the whole NWA spot with cocaine, that was wild. I did see that. And I don't watch a lot of wrestling, but I did see that pop up on my feed, which is insane. The fact that they put that on national television.
We talked about the pay-per-view last week, and I said it was wild, and there was good moments and bad moments. I really didn't bring it up because I thought, okay, it hadn't made a couple days later. It happened the Saturday before, I watched pay-per-view, and it didn't make it out until after we recorded last week. And then, It was a whole week before people started saying, wait a minute, there was a cocaine spot on NWA.
Yeah, they straight up did coke. I've seen a lot of shady shit, but that was wild.
How does that get by? They have writers. Listen, we are both in independents. The writers are ourselves, this, that, and the other. I'm pulling down the fourth wall for a hot second. But how does that make it by the writers in this day and age to say, cocaine, that's fucking fine?
Somebody was probably high on cocaine when they did it. I don't know how it got passed. I don't know how it got put on national television.
But the weight then a week is where that's where I think they were already in. And of course, CW was probably already in talks with WWE and NWA and AEW, but there was no blood on the paper, essentially. Ink on the paper saying you are officially signed.
Yeah.
Once that was there, they're like, whoa, what are they doing? So, yeah.
But you also have to think CW did have SmackDown for a long time.
Yeah. They had it in the TNA era. And I don't mean Impact Wrestling TNA. I mean it in the...
I'm talking about total non-stop action wrestling.
No, not that. No. The other TNA that involves women. So, yeah. So, they've seen a lot of stuff. Go ahead.
My first, real time with wrestling was during the CW era. Because, the Don grew up as a poor kid. Everybody does. But the Don grew up as a poor kid, and that was the only, TV program I had. So SmackDown was my show for the longest time. So I think because they have history there, it was more of a okay, we're getting WWE again.
Right. NXT, whatever you want to call it, is still WWE.
It is.
Yeah.
It's its own beat, but it's still WWE.
Right, without a doubt. All right. Let's do this quickly, and I won't even hold you to say anything unless you want to. But we have to cover the sponsors and take care of the bills and all of that. So, ready?
Sponsors.
Ready. Collar and Elbow, hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool stuff that Al Snow and the Hooligans have down at Collar and Elbow. Buy everything on the goddamn website and then use our promo code, which is Can Crushers. All one word, capital C and Can, capital C and Crushers. You'll save 10%. Don't forget, you can find us everywhere podcasts are available. IMDb, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Podchester. There's a million of them. But we have to bring up Podurama. Because Podurama right now, if you sign up for a lifetime membership, you get 50% off, and it's a seamless app that you'll be able to listen to it from your computer, your phone, your laptop, anywhere you do, and it's cool. Follow us on all our socials. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, which is putrid, and Twitter. We're there. Sign up, join the discussion, and then if you'd like to be part of Can Crushers, get your own spotlight, get a good rapport with us so you can come on and do a show like the Big Don's doing right now when Sir Michael Jenks is running through his basement window next year, something like that. Hey, cancrusher69@gmail.com is where we're at, and yeah, that's that easy. You ready to hear from Al Snow?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
It's the Cotton Candy Princess, Tiffany Avatar, and I am here to sweeten yet another podcast. That's right, Can Crushers. Welcome to Candyland.
Welcome back, Can Crushers fans. We are here. This whole episode is just thrown off by me because I'm excited that the Big Don is here with me, but I'm also a little nervous because I don't know sometimes if you're going to throw me under the bus.
Well, don't be nervous. Maybe be nervous.
Yeah, be nervous all the time. We're family, but I'm a third cousin.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Okay. So Crown Jewel was last week, and I only got to watch it Wednesday because that's just the way life happens. But as an overall, because I know you watched Crown Jewel, right?
I did watch it.
As an overall, how did you like it? Then we'll get into the matches. How did you like Crown Jewel?
I enjoyed it. I didn't get to see the pre-show match. I didn't get to see that. But from what I watched, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
It was a good crown jewel. Very predictable, as we always say. Crown jewels are probably the easiest predictable pay-per-views out there. I got 100%. Jenks missed the 2 that he thought he was going to do something special with. So I now get a title shot for Full Gear for our 6-pack, so I can win that back. I'm excited about that. The opening match between Sammy and JD was crazy. Sammy and JD bouncing into Raw a little bit. I'm glad that Sammy kind of got his flowers on Raw, and we'll get there. But I did like this match. I almost think that this match should not have been on the pre-show. You could have switched something else, or there's always extra time, it seems like, on these Saudi shows, that it could have just slid right in and not do a pre-show match. First and foremost, both companies need to trim the pre-show to half an hour. Just tell us the matches, get the hell out of there. I don't need 2-3 hours of pre-show anymore. I don't watch most of them.
It's nuts, especially when they tell you it's starting at this time and it's just pre-show.
Yeah, listening to Booker T do Shucky Ducky. Yeah. So we'll slide right in. Opening match of the main card is Seth against Drew. And then this caught me off guard that Seth and Drew were going first, because I thought this was going to be a little bit later in the card. It kind of revealed to me that Damian was not cashing in whatsoever that night.
Yeah, it caught me off guard too, because I was like, why make this the first match? Because I originally thought that I missed a couple matches, because it's a championship match. You don't think that a championship match is going to go out first,
unless you're Brock and you want to get the hell back to Canada or Wisconsin or wherever. Brock's either first or last. Boom, see you, bye.
But all in all, it was a great match. I thoroughly enjoyed the match.
The crowd was so much on Drew's side. Like, again, last week, 2 people that I shit on was LA Knight and Seth Rollins, and the crowd was with me. It was like everybody from Saudi Arabia was like, yeah, Mark's right. I'm sick of Seth too. They wanted Drew. And again, there's always that time, I think they call an audible, like in match, and give it to him.
I feel like they might have, but also I don't know what Drew's thing is right now. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? What's going on there?
Well, he's kind of floating, is really, I think, from what we saw on Raw, because Drew was on Raw for 30 seconds, and I can cover Drew on Raw right now. Pulled up in his vehicle, got asked a question, didn't answer, got back in, and bailed. Without a doubt, I think he is going to be a member or something to do with Judgment Day, an associate or a friend, more so. I think the whole heel turn of Drew is coming. This might not be the last time we see this match, is where I'm going with this. Maybe Drew is the one that takes it from Seth.
I don't know. My gears are starting to turn now. If he takes it from Seth, do you think Priest is going to cash in on Drew?
Yep.
Okay. I could see it happening. But then on the other hand, I'm like, then why put him in the Judgment Day or associated with the Judgment Day?
Well, I think Priest is thrown out by then. Okay. Once Drew comes in, I think this is a probably 2-month kind of saga until maybe Rumble.
Okay. I can see that. Because Priest needs to cash in soon. He really, it's coming up on crunch time.
Yeah. For real. I mean, we talk about, we hate the instant, the same day cash-ins on Money in the Bank that all the women do.
Yeah, but then you also can't drag it out until the next WrestleMania.
Right. Like, hello. In all these ones, the last 2, have it be whatever was before this, or this one, Crown Jewel, I think were the perfect ones to do it. It was the one in Pittsburgh I was actually talking about. What is that, Roadblock? Yeah. I think those would have been perfect ones to do it. Next one is Survivor Series. There's War Games is happening.
Yeah. And isn't he in War Games?
He is in War Games.
They're both in War Games.
Yes. But I don't think, because that's a spectacle. I know it's a spectacle match. He'd have to be laying around, and I don't think they do it in the cage, essentially, because War Games has to be the main event, right? It's got to be.
You never know.
I don't think Roman's going to be at War Games.
Did they have it as the main event last year? I'm trying to remember. I think it was halfway through.
Yeah, but these are your 8 top players on Raw right now, going to be in War Games. You're not putting this on first.
No, but I don't think they're going to put it on last.
So you think Roman gets a match because Roman then goes last? Or do you think there's 2 War Games matches? Do you think SmackDown gets one? Or the women as well?
Well, I think if they do a women's, it would have to be SmackDown women.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Because they don't... Well, I mean, they do have a storyline for the women's. It's probably going to be the whole Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley. And who's the other one? I can't remember her name.
Zoe Starks. Yeah. Well, to ruin it, she gets the title shot against Rhea Ripley at Survivor Series. She won the Battle Royal on Monday. So they wouldn't be.
I seen that little highlight.
Yeah. Moving ahead, Fatal 5-Way for the women is Raquel, Baszler, Zoe, Ripley, and Nia. This was what?
I enjoyed it, but it was a little rough.
It was a little rough. I agree. Nobody in the world thought Ripley was losing it against 5. I think it's going to be a shocker when she does lose it. I wouldn't mind Zoe doing it, but I think it's not time yet for the Judgment Day. Like, the tag titles have to leave, and there has to be a breakup. There's going to be, before she's just decimated. That can't happen in 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that double kick between Rhea and I'm blanking on her name.
Raquel.
Yeah. That double kick looked stiff.
It did. It really did. I winced a little bit. I winced.
Especially because Rhea got air with it.
Yeah.
And I just kind of stayed flat-footed. That's a stiff bump right there.
Cena against Solo. I was 50-50 on this. I did take Solo just because, the last Ask Can Crushers was like, hey, when Solo going to get his big win? I think this was it. I think this now gives Solo a little, maybe a firecracker up his ass to do some more. But did you see everything that John Cena posted this week? He's not going out like this, right?
So this is the way I see it, from like watching back in the day to watching now. I see it as a kind of mirror match between Umaga and John Cena, because it's very similar.
Yeah.
And the fact that Solo got the win over John Cena this time, it's like a big moment for Solo. I don't think John Cena's done.
I don't either.
There's no way in hell that John Cena is done.
No.
I mean, I know he did his like weird goodbye at Crown Jewel, but I don't think he's done.
No, I don't either. There's always that time. He's not full time now. He's only, and we've talked about this, he's only there full time right now because there's no work in Hollywood because of writer strikes and actor strikes and this, that, and the other. And I know some of it's working out, but
that's what it is he needs money, but it also helps the WWE.
Yeah, poor guy's broke.
They could build up stars like LA Knight. He gave LA Knight a huge rub. And then he also gave Solo a huge rub.
We've predicted that Cena LA Knight is going to happen at WrestleMania.
I wouldn't be disappointed.
No. Cena's still looking for that win. Cena's still going to be looking for a win for a little bit.
I wouldn't be disappointed, but if Cena wins against LA Knight, then I might be disappointed.
Listen, I went off on LA Knight last week. But I agree. Because that's more of a rub that LA Knight needs. Cena doesn't need anything. Nothing.
No. Because if LA Knight loses that, all of the momentum that he just gained is gone.
Yeah.
It's all gone. And then he's down in that mid-card title, where now he could probably take it off of Gunther. I think he should take the belt off of Seth. Give him.
I wouldn't mind that. Does he take it off and then does Priest cash in on him? Priest is getting the title. I really think. I said it's a failed attempt last week, but now I changed my mind again.
Yeah, I don't doubt Priest is getting it, but for me, not personally, but like for me, watching as a fan, it's LA Knight needs a big title. I mean, he could probably take it off of Gunther because Gunther made that title big again. But
I think Miz takes it off now. I really do. I think this is the time Miz takes it off.
I do too, because he went to face. Because I seen a couple highlights from Raw. Just switching over to Raw real quick, and Miz is going face.
Yeah,
going face.
Yeah, and he's gonna. Not that he has to do anything for the IC title. He did it once. Gunther has now done it. But
yeah,
who else? I mean, they've buried Shins. They've buried Bronson essentially. Gable was the one that we were pulling for to get it.
I wish Gable got it.
Yeah.
This is how I see this planning out, right? The Miz takes the IC title, and I think it's him versus Grayson Waller for a while.
Yeah.
Let them go at it. Because, I mean, they're literally just mirrors of each other.
And then Waller gets the Miz rub. Because there's a Miz rub out there that people are, they still hate him, but there's a rub from him.
There is. Because he's a very safe worker. He's been in the business for a while. Some people don't realize how long the Miz has been in business.
A long time.
He has been, what, early 2000s?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because he only got his comeuppance in 2010. So he worked the low-end stuff for 5-6 years. Yeah. And I'm not looking stuff up. That's, Shockmaster's job. I just record. Probably my favorite match of the night was Logan and Ray.
Oh, it really was. That was a great match.
And I love everything that Logan's doing with the title now. Taking pictures with it. He's in the shower with it. He sleeps with it. He's milking cows with it. It's phenomenal.
Now, see, on a service level, I physically hate Logan Paul, okay?
Oh,
I'm
agreed.
I hate him. But watching him work is so good. It's so good. Especially when it came to that one spot where Ray went for the moonsault and Logan saved him. That was great ring instinct.
Well, that was something I wanted to talk about. Because both are apparently to blame. Right? Ray didn't get Ray's, 1994 bounce off of the ring. Logan looked like he was a little bit too far back, but he didn't let him just fall to his death. He took the initiative to save him.
So that's exactly what it was, is the way they set up the spot. Logan was a little too far back. But it's like the discussion of catching people. So, like, pulling the fourth wall down. As a wrestler, when you go to catch somebody, you want to be right underneath them because it's always easier to fall backwards than it is to fall forward. And Logan was a little way too far back. So when he came up a little short, so it forced Logan to try to get under him. Which, all props to him, because he grabbed him and then he also had the strength to pick him back up. Yeah. And I mean, being a man like me, it is very hard, especially with like my tag team partner. There's been a couple times where we've done spots where he gets thrown out of the ring and I got to catch him. It's very hard to catch somebody midair and stand straight up.
Yeah.
matter how strong you are. It is very difficult.
That just shows to me that Logan has really taken this on. He's put in the work. He respects the business, essentially, right?
He sank his teeth into this.
He's a douchebag in life.
Yes.
But I respect him for what he's doing because he works. I was one of the ones saying, nah, this is gonna suck. No.
He is a certified grade A jerk off, sealed by the Don. But his in-ring work is getting way better. He's better than 90% of the wrestlers on the indies. And I could say that wholeheartedly.
Okay. I'm not going to agree or disagree because I need them all to still come back on the show.
I didn't name it specifically.
No, I didn't name anybody specifically, but people can spin that any way they want to.
Yeah, we're going to put this out here. If any indie star didn't like that, we could have a match.
Yeah, we'll book it. We'll have ways to book it soon. We'll book it.
Yeah.
Who do you think takes it from Logan now? And how long do you think he has it?
I think they might give Logan a little bit of a run with it.
I think he'll Rumble. I don't think he's losing at any time. But I don't know how much he's going to be on TV. They said he's going to be on TV a lot, this, that, or the other. Listen, I'll be the dick. I don't think he's going to Des Moines, Iowa, or he's not going to Erie, Pennsylvania. He's not doing any. He's only doing New York shows, Madison Square Garden, stuff like that. He's not going to little shows.
I give it Royal Rumble, maybe Ricochet, because they did have that feud for a little while.
They did, and I thought that for a long time after he won it. And I'm like, that's a way to bring it back, to get it on Ricochet, because Ricochet's, as much as I'm not a Ricochet fan, he has slowed down the cartwheels of this to that, to this, to that, to get to an elbow drop. So I see that he's doing some work as well. But you're right. That spot where they just collided in midair, that's a WrestleMania moment again, getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Io against Bianca. No damage control to start the match. I loved how it was just ground and pound from Io most of this match. She wasn't flying a lot. She was showing so much technical and submission stuff against the bigger Bianca. After the Sammy match and after the Rey match, essentially, this was third. None of the big matches, I'm not saying this wasn't big, but none of the big matches were anything for me. This was great. And then the surprise at the end,
that caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
It really did.
Was it because Kyrie still has stuff overseas to do? That's why it was easier for her, because she's not, I don't know if she's going to be on SmackDown tonight or last night when you guys are listening to this or anything like that. But I thought she had some stuff to take care of in Stardom yet before she's released. Or was that all they really worked us?
I don't know. But, I mean, the way they did the spot, she would have to be coming back. Because I feel like this is Io's like way of getting out of damage control.
So let me spin this then too. Does that mean Dakota's healthy? Because it's got to be 2-on-2, right? They're not going to leave Bayley to the wayside without any help.
I could see that. Io and Kyrie versus Bayley and Dakota.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of a spoiler. I think Dakota is definitely healthy. She's been lingering around a while, not in ring or anything, but I think Dakota is now healthy. And then this breakup of damage control, at least for Io, has officially happened.
But it makes sense because there is still that tension between Io and Bayley.
Right. Is Bayley the one to take it off of her?
I think if they were smart, they would.
See, I'm going the other way because then Io and Kyrie can maybe go after the tag champs again to solidify what they didn't get to do earlier in their career and run with that. I think it's Dakota, and then Bayley and Dakota go at it for a little bit.
I could see that.
Get ready. This was the worst match of the night. And I hate to say this because I love Cody Rhodes. And I love my cousin, Punishment Martinez. I do, Damian Priest. But holy shit, this was a quick boom. Cody just killed him match and it was over.
So Cody absolutely destroyed Priest, which I don't like.
No.
I don't like. He hit him with what, 3 crossroads?
Yeah.
To finish the match? That's way too much. That's way overkill.
This is your Money in the Bank guy.
Yeah. This is supposed to be your next top guy. And you just completely demolished him. And then you also demolished Cody's finish because you made him hit him 3 times with it.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of finishers are for the end, and you only hit it 1 time, and you never kick out. Because if you kick out, it lessens the finisher. I mean, there is those false finishes where you hit your finisher and somebody kicks out, but not every match needs to have a false finish like that.
No. In this one that had a week, and I know they've been going at it for 6 months essentially, but this match itself only had like a week buildup.
Yeah,
a week in length and a week in strength, essentially.
Yeah.
This was a bathroom break match.
Yes. This was your cool down match. Because, again, another predictable match where you knew Cody was going to win. You knew Judgment Day was going to come out. And then you assumed that Jey Uso was going to come out to save him.
Right. Exactly. We get to the main event, Roman in LA. We talked about it a little bit. I love how Roman mocked LA Knight right at the beginning.
I did too. Gave him that good heat to kind of build up a little. I loved how dominant they made LA Knight in this.
He really was. Until they got that little bit of a turn where Roman started to get over and then everybody needed to come out. This was a good match for LA Knight. It really was. But it was just not his match because it just is not in the cards yet.
So what this was WWE testing the grounds with LA Knight to see how he would fare in a bigger match. That's how I perceive it. This was seeing how LA Knight can handle that big spotlight.
That's the same thing that Sir Shockmaster said. I'm trying to get it changed every time. Said, because this was his time. Hey, WWE Universe, you want LA Knight? Let's see you come to the forefront for him and support him in this match. Well, we're probably not going to give it to him, but let's see how much you are really behind him in this makeshift match. That's the same thing Roman has been doing since WrestleMania.
Yeah, and he had a lot of support. I mean, you those flyers.
He had he had more support than I thought he was going to. And it's not a knock on the fans overseas or anything like that.
No.
But I didn't think that it was going to carry over. I really didn't.
LA Knight is just over. He's very much over.
He is. But when he walked out after he lost the match, where do you think he goes now? Like, as of right now, he's not in the title hunt again.
Yeah, no, he's out of the title hunt for a little while. I think the only plausible answer is how you put it. He has to go mid card title.
Yeah, he does.
Which sucks, but if he can win one of those titles, then that should skyrocket him back up.
We're going to jump all over right now, and this is where I love picking your brain.
Okay.
The Royal Rumble, next biggest pay-per-view coming up, and Cody does not need to win the Rumble to get at Roman. There's built-in story, this, that, or the other. So LA Knight wins the Rumble this year to get that big pop, and then he gets one of the main events at WrestleMania against Seth, Gunther, whoever, Damian Priest, whoever is the champion at that time. Maybe he gets his flowers there.
Okay. Now you got my gear spinning. He takes Rumble, goes after whoever's holding Seth's title.
But you don't think Seth has it by Mania?
I don't think Seth has it by Mania.
I don't either.
I don't think he has it because he's held it for a while now.
Yeah.
And he's been defending it like crazy. And that's their way of trying to promote this title. They're trying to make more of a spectacle. It's like, okay, this is a huge accomplishment if you actually win this.
It's the workhorse heavyweight championship.
Yes. So I see LA Knight winning and then taking on whoever has that belt.
Priest. I really think he doesn't not lose the cash in. And if he's only going to do it maybe at Rumble, because Seth has to defend against maybe Drew again, or I keep spinning the matches. And then that title run for Priest from Rumble, so to speak, until Mania is his test to see if he's really over.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe him and LA Knight have a feud for a while.
I can see that happening.
And the blow-offs at SummerSlam.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. I think they really want to give LA Knight his flowers, his big thing, everything he deserves. Because, listen, I love Eli Drake. I love LA Knight. I just hated, and I know everybody's like, Mark, that's not what you were saying from last week. It is. It really is. I just hated that he was force-fed into this match knowing that it was going to lose. That maybe some of that momentum was taken away from him a little bit. And I think a little bit was. I don't care what anybody says. I think a little bit was he's back down the totem pole for a couple weeks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take the Rumble to get it back. And I know that's not long, but it's long enough for some people. All right, let's go over to Raw real quick, okay? And I know you saw some clips and everything like that. You said, I want to ask you the question that I was shitting on everybody last week. Are you sick of Seth Rollins' song being sung during matches?
The fan of me says yes. The wrestler in me says no.
And I wanted to hear that because that means something as the wrestler in you. Because give us some of that. What does that mean? Does it actually give you the comeuppance in the match, or is that just money in your pocket essentially because you're just that over?
Yeah. So wrestling wise, that shows that these fans absolutely love you. The fact that they're chanting the entire time throughout your match, your theme song, that is the peak of peak. That makes you feel so good as a performer because that just means that everybody is invested in what you are doing in that ring. As a fan, it takes away from the match because now you're kind of obligated to chant for this guy.
Yeah.
So you might like it.
I love Seth Rollins. And maybe if I'm at a Raw, I would join in because the atmosphere just has you there and the people just get you going.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean by it. The fan side of it is you feel obligated that you have to be part of this now. Because it's an over chant. It is a very over chant.
What did you think about, we're jumping all over on Raw, the Sammy and Seth match? Honestly, to me, it was match of the week that we're going to cover. And I'm sad that Sammy lost.
It was really good. I feel like it was impromptu.
Because why? Do you think something had to change all of a sudden?
I don't know. I don't. Well, I mean, given I don't follow as much as everybody else does, but just tuning in and seeing it, it's like, okay, why is this happening? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was forced. It definitely was forced on us because Sammy stole the Money in the Bank from Senor Priest, and then Pierce had to make him give it back. But Seth says you did the right thing, essentially, in the whole 20 minutes to start the show. But I'll give you a match whenever you wanted. Why wouldn't Sammy say, "Hey, yeah, I wanted it at SummerSlam then"?
Yeah.
Or not SummerSlam, Survivor Series. There's two S's. Why wouldn't you wanted it a pay-per-view? Well,
I mean, given and knowing what we know at the end of the show,
right.
It all makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it makes perfect sense because you have two of them out. You can bring the other two out after the four are beating the hell out of them. Complete setup. I agree. I'm sad that it didn't happen during the match. As much as I say this was match of the week for me, and I love the match, I think it took away. They're like, hey, look, you guys love Sammy, but he lost again. Like, Sammy just can't get there.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. But, boom, Sammy turns right around, helps him, and now we get War Games, which I'm excited for.
Could you imagine during War Games, everything's finished, everybody's like beaten up, and then Priest cashes in?
That's crazy. Yes, I do want it.
It's never been done.
No.
So end of match. It doesn't matter who wins, who loses. Him and Seth are still in the ring, and he just cashes in right there. Everybody's fighting on the outside, trying to make sure the match doesn't happen.
There's
and
two rings that they go in between.
Exactly. It'd be a pretty cool storyline. Or it's like Priest outsmarted the architect.
Yeah. And I didn't think of that until we kind of spoke. I really didn't, because War Games is such a spectacle match that they're going to take away from.
Yeah.
Plus, there's rumors that somebody's returning at Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you don't want to take away from the match, but it's something that has never been done. And because it's something that's never been done, that will skyrocket Priest.
Right. Who, again, you called him the architect. Rollins threw himself in the Roman and Brock match. So he's going to one-up Seth even right after War Games.
Yeah.
That's a notch on his belt. But I think that also turns to Ripley a little bit then. She gets pissed off. And I think maybe that's the whole... So maybe we get the breakup earlier than I'm thinking of Judgment Day. Because you I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I'm going to say it this way anyway. You know Judgment Day is thin water right now, right?
Oh, it's very thin. And that's only because I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley. And you'd be stupid not to be a big fan of Rhea Ripley.
Okay. How much longer does she have the title?
I think she's losing it soon.
Her reign wasn't great, Donnie. Her reign wasn't great.
I think she's losing it soon because she needs to lose it just to gain it again, so it increases her.
The money's in the chase, right?
Yes.
Every legend says that. It's great to hold those titles of any.
But what do you do after you have that title? You defend it. Well, defending it gets boring. The thrill is in the chase. As soon as you lose that title, now you have so much opportunity to get that title back.
Yep. Besides the Bad Fellas, new favorite tag team out there right now, Creed Brothers. I need them to run roughshod over everybody in all of WWE, NXT. I love them.
I can see why. I like their finish. The finish is pretty.
Exactly. The Brutus Ball, a little bit of a Steiners / Road Warriors type of deal thing.
They took a move and they made it their own.
Yeah.
That's what, I mean, it's nothing compared to the Goomba Death Drop in the Bad Fellas.
That's why I said they're not the Bad Fellas. Not at all. But yeah. Essentially, that's it on Raw. I mean, that was Raw. There was the Battle Royal, the Zoe Stark one that we talked about. Xia Li and Becky. What's your thoughts on that? I'm loving that they're building up Xia Li, by the way, finally.
I don't like how Pierce made her go to the back.
Yeah, agreed.
Because he broke the trope of attacking somebody just to gain their spot in the match.
When Becky has done it to get into a Rumble.
Exactly.
Yes.
Good on him, because now it makes him seem more like an authority figure. And so, like, now it's like he had that moment plus the ending moment of making the War Games. But I think she should have been put in that match.
I think yes. She should have been in a match in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people were on. I mean, usually it's 20-man battle royal. I didn't count nor whatever, but listen, you have the whole women's roster. They should all be fighting for it. If Xia wasn't in it, why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a story brewing between her and Becky.
Oh, there is. Well, it's going to keep Becky away from the title for a little bit, and that's okay. Becky doesn't need a title. Becky, we talk about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you want to bring up on WWE? What are some of the things that you kind of been really interested about when you watch it?
I don't know. I'm here for the storylines. That's really it.
Yeah.
If there's a story that catches my attention, I'll stay watching. And right now, the only storyline that has my attention is this Judgment Day mosh posh of just attacking random people. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like they're just attacking random people. They're attacking the two main people and then just random people joining it.
Right.
Because you got Cody, you got Jay, you got Seth now involved. Who else is involved?
Sammy.
You got Sammy involved. And it's like, it feels like.
And KO's on SmackDown, not involved, but listen, he is always involved.
He should be involved because, I mean, they have the championships for both.
Right. Do you trust Jay?
I don't know.
I don't yet. I
No.
don't. I think he was traded or sent over or whatever. He's working with Cody too much. I mean, it's still, to me, part of the bloodline storyline going on with him and Cody being, listen, they get another tag team title shot next week.
So you're thinking big WrestleMania moment, Jay fucks over Cody.
Tries to. WrestleMania moments, Cody winning it.
Yeah, you have it in your head that Cody is going to win.
Yes. I decided not to go to Philadelphia because.
Well, you put in a whole plot point that kind of argues your point. If Jay is actually a double agent, Cody's not winning.
Cody's got to do something for the next couple months. Once they lose this freaking match again Monday night, that they're not going to be tag team champions, something's going on. Because them and the Judgment Day have to end. It's War Games, right? And if Priest is going to cash in as you suspected at the end of this, that essentially makes Seth then their target for a little bit. Or if Seth goes off, Priest then can defend against Drew. Or how I think there's stories to get Cody Uso away from Judgment Day. And I think it has to by now, because we need to start building this up. I think Cody and Uso do, maybe that's the Royal Rumble match. Maybe they're not in the Rumble because we have already had this blow off between the double agent.
Okay, so I see it as at Rumble they have a little feud going on because Cody doesn't know if he can trust Jay. Right?
Right. Because Sammy and KO have now gotten into Cody's head.
Have that run until WrestleMania. Have Cody versus Roman. And then make the deciding factor Jay.
So you're saying Cody's not winning?
I don't know if Cody's winning. I'm putting it in a I don't know category because we could be getting the same exact match from Roman.
Oh, I completely agree. We're going to get the same match from Roman.
But make Jay that deciding factor of whose side is he picking now.
Now I get what you're saying. They have
Yeah.
they have a little tussle for the next couple months, but Jay then finally, he super kicks Roman, Cody gets the pin, done.
Or on the off chance, he super kicks Cody and then the bloodline is back.
And then the universe will blow up. Can the story of Hard Times go 3 years? If Roman wins both, it's got to be over, right?
Yes. So if he doesn't win at WrestleMania, it's done. It's done. That storyline.
You're breaking my heart right now.
I'm telling you right now that if he does not get it at WrestleMania, the storyline's done. Because nobody's going to be invested.
I agree. I will be crying in a corner, rocking, eating lemon heads, freeze-dried lemon heads, by the way, which are amazing. Have you had any freeze-dried candy yet, Big Don? I know you're not, a candy person like the Cotton Candy Princess and I this last spotlight, but have you tried any freeze-dried candy?
I have not. I didn't even know you can freeze-dry candy.
It's amazing. That was also the little plug for the spotlight this week if you have not listened.
No, you know what my type of candy is? And people think I'm crazy for this. But I like anything with anisette in it.
Yeah. I don't mind it during Christmas, but
I don't eat black licorice, though. I'm not saying that.
Oh, no.
But I like anisette hard candies.
Yeah, the hard candies that have a little bit of the powder on them. What the hell is it called? It's not called powder. It's not cocaine, Mark. It's powdered sugar is what it is.
It's powdered sugar, but it's anisette, and I love it. They're like biscottis. You know what biscottis are, right?
I do. My aunt makes the best.
Chocolate, almond, anisette biscotti. Those are my favorite.
Do you make those? Do you have somebody make those for you, Big Don?
I don't make them, but I have a shop down this way that makes them.
Nice. You want to talk about anything else? What else do you want to talk about here on the show? We did a crown jewel. We're good for showtime.
We can talk about what I've been doing to get back in shape. Because I mean, hear me out. The Don's not been in shape the past couple of weeks. Okay, he took some time off. He had a baby, so the Don's been he's getting a little pudgy. He's got some dad weight on him.
Did you buy the Jorts and the New Balance shoes yet, so you can start cutting the grass in a headband?
I will not be wearing that because Don does not wear shorts.
Okay.
And if you don't believe me, you can read up on James Gandolfini.
Oh no!
Gandolfini?
Yeah, Gandolfini.
I said that right.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Anyways, he during his show, the show that we're talking about is The Sopranos. As he was in that show, he actually got a call from the mob because there was a scene where he was wearing shorts, and he got a call from the mob, and all it said was, "Don would never wear shorts," and they hung up the phone.
And that stuck.
Yeah, he revealed that during an interview. So that stuck in my head. Don doesn't wear shorts, so I'm not wearing shorts.
To get back to your workout training, what have you been doing?
I've been doing everything and anything. If I can pick it up, I'm lifting it.
There you go.
I'm doing a lot of strength training. I may have some size on me now, but I'm getting stronger. That's what I'm doing.
Do we have, and if it's a surprise, don't tell me, but do you have a timetable when you're getting back into the ring and you're going to start kicking ass and taking names again?
Well, I'm going to be getting back in the ring in November. It's going to be the end of the month. We're shooting for, I believe it's the 25th at 3WA. We're going to be heading down there. And I don't care if there's not a match booked. We're getting a match booked.
Is your little buddy coming with you? Or are you just
Of
going
course.
solo?
Of course he's coming with me. That's my tag team partner. That's my best friend, my good pal.
Your
The
Goomba.
maiden Cunningham.
Okay. Well, this has been fun. This has been a great way to cover a premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call them, for WWE, and make fun of Sir Michael Jenks, the Shockmaster, because if you haven't listened to the beginning of it, he ran through his bathroom and broke it.
I still can't believe he did that.
Trust me.
What kind of fuck just runs through a wall? Huh?
He's like the Kool-Aid man.
I was going to say, it kind of sounds Kool-Aid-ish.
Yeah.
Well, when he comes back, you ask him for the Don.
You ask him. He'll listen. He'll be listening right now.
All right. Well, do you like Kool-Aid? Huh? Is that why you ran through your wall? Somebody said, "Oh no," on the other side of it.
Oh yeah. Big Don, fourth wall down. I love you.
I love you too, Big Boss Man.
It was great having you come on, cover a pay-per-view with me. We'll do this again. We also have one in the works where, we have our special spotlights. When we reveal the ones, we're going to pass them along to Big Don and a few other wrestlers to talk about, the most hated table matches, the most scariest match, whatever we come up with. And if you guys want to, go ahead and shoot someone in at us at cancrusher69@gmail.com. We'd love to put these, not top 10, because we're all going to just throw shit out there, but our favorites, essentially, or our worsts, or whatever. Big Don is definitely going to be one of the guys that comes on for that, because, listen, he knows how to spit fire, right?
Oh, I really don't. I got the gift.
You do. Do you know the way that we end our show?
You might have to refresh me, buddy.
Okay. Well, we say, remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
Doesn't mean you're a trash can. That's what it is. You're trash.
And then we say, make sure you tell your loved ones you love them.
We'll always tell your loved ones you love them. But I mean, if they're an asshole, you can always get away with it.
Because you never know.